All right, so welcome to our fifth episode of ATD Talks Talent. Today we're going to be talking about sales enablement. My name is Avra Bossov, Manager for Brand Engagement and Strategic Communications here at ATD. Joining me today is Kim McAvoy, ATD Sales Enablement Community Manager. Kim, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, Avra. Hi, everyone. Good to be here. Sure. So, Kim McAvoy, I have over 10 years of experience in a variety of sales roles, from having been a sales rep myself to managing sales teams. And then before coming to ATD was Director of Training and Development, where I created onboarding and other enablement programs for a sales organization.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're very busy preparing for the conference next week, so really thank you for taking the time
Sure.
specifically. So just to set a baseline for our conversation today, can you explain to everyone, like, what is sales enablement?
Yeah, definitely. Good question to start off with. There's so many different parts to it, and I think people focus on kind of different areas depending on if they're an enablement team of one, or they have 20 or 30 on their team, and kind of depending on their organization's priorities. But enablement, at the simplest, it's helping your sales reps sell more effectively, right? So the goal of enablement is to increase the productivity of your market-facing teams by providing these ongoing and strategic resources throughout the buyer journey that's going to drive business impact. So to dive a little deeper into that, Abra, I say market-facing teams because it's not just your account executives or AEs that the enablement team is working with. It's customer success, sales development, your channel teams, and all about this. When we think of enablement, it's not just a one and done thing. It's this process of kind of ongoing and strategic resources, and it takes a very programmatic approach. So that's kind of sales enablement. If we look at the umbrella of enablement, lots of different things that it encompasses, right? So you've got sales training, which obviously involves onboarding, ongoing upskilling, and what we call this everboarding, coaching, content creation, process improvement, tools, technology, talent development. I mean, I could go on all day, right? But we only have half hour, 40 minutes on here. So
around there. Yes. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to hear you say that, just because, sales teams are so important for businesses to be successful, right? Like, you want to get your products out there, you want to build those relationships with potential buyers. And it's interesting that within talent development and training, there's this subset of people who can help you achieve those effective, business results because of the sales team. So thank you for setting that framework. And as the need for effective sales in general, full stop, but also effective sales enablement teams, what does successful sales enablement look like at this moment and in general?
Sure. So, I mean, it involves collaboration across a variety of different departments, including marketing, product, sales ops, sales managers, and other sales leadership. So when you have successful enablement, it's this cross-functional strategic alignment of all these groups, and you'll see those results through higher levels of rep engagement, because reps are getting ramped up faster in role. They're providing a better experience to the customer. Reps are just becoming more efficient. So whether it be, bigger deal sizes, faster sales cycles, higher win rates, whatever it may be. And especially right now, sales enablement is having to, flip to virtual, having to do their training all online where it used to be in person, and having to help, reps better prepare for a world of just entire virtual selling. So,
Awesome. Thank you. So, going into still what effective sales enablement looks like, what are some of those top skills that sales enablement professionals need to be effective?
So, I would say it's a variety ranging from enablement professionals having to be strategic and data driven. And that's because, there's so many projects and things that enablement can have their hands in, but it's thinking about what are the business needs and what is it that I can do that's going to have the most impact, right? And especially if and I say being strategic because if you do have a large field sales team, over a couple thousand sellers or whatever, you have to find a way to make your programs very scalable. You can't be spending one-on-one time with these reps. Some other skills, I would also say being an influencer, and collaborator for that fact, because you're not a lone wolf. You have to communicate and work across the different, remember what I was saying, the other different departments to make sure that there's alignment across all of you. And you have to be able to build a business case for the change that you're, going to roll out. So having that change management, the program project management experience of rolling out, whether it be sales methodologies or a new technology, and you're trying to drive adoption with it.
Right.
And of course, I think obviously one of the most important also, let's not forget, is that, enablement professionals also need to have those skills of being a facilitator, that learning and training background, right? So training delivery, sometimes enablement folks have to take on the instructional design piece themselves. So maybe some of them have to know how to do that, or they can outsource that. But a lot of them, they have to have those facilitator skills, know the core learning principles. So
yeah, awesome. Yeah, all of those skills are definitely important for most professionals, but it's interesting to hear like specifically what enablement professionals need to be effective. So thank you for sharing. Sure. Our next question, so digging into sales training specifically, which is usually, in combination with enablement professionals and like straight talent development professionals, how do we equip learners with what they need to meet those targets and goals?
Yeah. So again, if it depends on if it is sales onboarding or just another aspect of sales training, but there has to be alignment and communication, with some of the other departments. So when we think about enablement, it's not just this one instance of sales training. We run a class, we run a program, and then we're done with it. There has to be that follow-up and reinforcement to drive behavior change that you're looking for from reps. And so that ties into the coaching aspect, right? Making sure that the reps, that the sales managers, that they're enabled, that they know how to coach, that they themselves have the tools and technology to reinforce the sales training, right? Yeah. And so that they can, drive adoption. With the sales reps themselves, you can use a variety of methods and to make sure that the content, the behavior change, that it's that what you want them to be improving upon and doing, that it's resonating with them. So through gamification, shadowing, mobile learning, LMS, enablement platforms, content that you're creating for them, the messaging. So lots of different things that that your team can give to reps directly, as well as to sales managers, and what you can do to enable them, so that both pieces are kind of aligned and working towards that end goal. And I would also say, also having onboard and trained reps myself, ask sales reps for their feedback. It's always good to hear from them directly.
Learner feedback. Yes.
Yes. We do that in HR too. But get feedback from them on how that first 30, 60, 90, whatever days were, 6 months. And, you can always use it to improve and modify, some of what you're doing to make it better for the next group. So,
Yeah, awesome. So just to draw out one of those things that you talked about is alignment, and just how necessary any effective enablement is based on alignment with those other parts of the business.
exactly, Abra. I mean, probably one of the most, if I had to say, name the top traits, skills,
Yeah.
and what enablement's focused on, it's almost like you're what's connecting all these different departments so that they're, instead of being mutually exclusive, you're working with all these departments and trying to figure out, okay, how do we modify it? How do we position it so it is going to get the results that we want for the sales team to better enable and empower them to have some of those better customer interactions. So kind of huge on collaboration and alignment. So
yes. Which is important for all talent development professionals, but especially with this focus on driving results and empowering the people who are responsible for driving those results. That's just really good to hear. So thank you. Our last question about sales enablement before we get to know you a little bit better.
okay.
So ATD Sell, our sales enablement conference, is next week, October 12th to 15th. Why are you excited for this virtual event?
So excited. I cannot wait. We didn't want it to just seem like a series of webinars. We know that there's a lot of virtual events going on right now, so there can be a little bit of fatigue from that. So kind of factoring in all those things, we made a conscious effort to try and find ways to make Sell, and this is the third year we've had it. First year it's virtual though, but I think it pulls in a wider audience, for people who wouldn't have been able to travel to Vegas. But we're so excited because a lot of our sessions we're trying to do live so that there is a ton of audience participation in the Q&As. Some of our sessions we've kind of made it multi-tiered, so you're doing a Q&A with the speakers, then you're actually speaking and like this in a Zoom setup, to have an actual discussion with the speaker themselves and other attendees on the topics. And then a third layer of that is another Zoom meeting, and it's more focused on application of a specific topic. So it's like you are taking a deep dive into a lot of these different topics. So that's what I'm most excited about, is just that level of engagement and learning that we're going to have on a virtual platform. And it's a pretty cool virtual platform. Jody built it, but I've been in the platform a lot, playing around with stuff. So yeah, super pumped for it to start next Monday.
Fabulous. Yeah, no, I'm excited for our folks to have that opportunity to talk to speakers and to each other, right? Because I mean, these are all, incredible professionals, and it's always good to expand your network over topics that you all care about, right?
Exactly. And I'm excited because it'll probably be the most people I've talked to all year, right? Several hundred in one room. So I'm like, oh, this will be fun.
Awesome. Yes. Well, definitely looking forward to that. Shifting a little bit into, these repeating questions, these 3 questions that we ask everyone on the ATD Talks Talent show. So the first one is, what is a skill or experience not listed on your LinkedIn profile?
So I had to go take a look at my LinkedIn to see what was actually listed on there, right? Because you can list stuff, but then people just like tag you or recommend you and stuff. So I'm like, well, so thinking about this, I kind of had 2, but I'll pick one. In one of my previous roles when I managed reps, I did a bit of a stretch role where I picked up another team as well. So for about I don't know, it was like 7 or 8 months out of the year, this one year, I managed 30 direct reports.
Wow.
Um, yeah, across
Wow.
like I lost track of the number of countries. I think it was like 5 or something. It was like UK, Germany, obviously US, and like I don't know, Singapore and somewhere
That's
else, Australia. So I basically just never slept. So it was very long hours, but yeah, it just shows you that you can find a way to flex and still do things. It required a lot of creativity,
Yes.
um and leaning on others to, to help out, leaning on team members, but it can be done and you can still get the results that you want. So
Awesome.
exhausting year for me.
Sounds like it for sure.
And I only had to travel to like 3 of the 5 countries, not all of them, but yeah,
Only.
that's not, I don't think that's anywhere on my
Yeah.
LinkedIn. So
Amazing. Thank you. This next one is, what is the best piece of advice you have ever received? Can be career or personal or anything like that.
yeah, best piece of advice I've received. So it's I had a manager tell me this way back in the day, but do things that put you outside your comfort zone, right? So I think they said, how exactly did they quote it? The definition of insanity is doing the same, and this is kind of more sales related, but it's okay. It's a definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results each time. So I kind of mesh that with doing things outside your comfort zone. I'm not saying like if you're scared of heights, go skydiving or something crazy. I would never go skydiving, at least. I don't know. I haven't talked myself into it, but more so what I mean is, find ways to continue to grow and stretch yourself, stretch your role. I think, flexing that muscle and really trying to evolve and becoming, picking up more skills along the way and doing kind of smaller things that may put you outside your comfort zone will lead to something even better. So I think, an example, if you don't like, I don't know, if you don't like public speaking or giving feedback, like practice it in smaller chunks and then have it build up, and it's good skills to have to utilize in different aspects of your life.
Yeah, that's all great advice. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Our last question is, what is something you're looking forward to over the next month?
Sure. So I'll give you 2, Avra, personal and kind of professional one. So our sales enablement certificate is, I'm going to be attending it at the end of the month, actually right after our ATD Cell conference. So
You
I'm
have
really
a busy month.
I do, and it's my birthday at the end of the month too, but not that I do anything crazy for that, but after you turn 30, yeah, but I just don't count the numbers after that. But anyway, so the sales enablement certificate, it's virtual this year, but I'm really excited for it. I've been just reading up a lot about it. I talked to some of our members about it, who asked me questions. So I'm really excited to kind of sit through it and experience it myself, with Reza, who wrote the book, who wrote our book and developed the model with us. So that, and then on a personal note, just the holidays that are coming up, right? So I was watching this earlier, Avra, and Ryan totally stole my answer about fall. I cannot say that, but I will say holidays. Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. I don't love Halloween. Halloween is like right the day after my birthday, but I have a 3-year-old, so he loves the holidays, and it's just really fun to see kind of the holidays and excitement through the eyes of a little kid. So
do you know what his Halloween costume is going to be yet?
Oh, Avra, we've had it planned for like over a month. So for anyone out there who's listening that has young kids or nieces, nephews, children, small children that they interact with, he's going to be on Paw Patrol, these little puppy dog superheroes. He's going to be, he's going to be Marshall, the little fire marshal. So yeah, he has his costume. We had to, picks up for him, find him a little fire hose to attach to it. So
Oh my goodness.
that way he can parade, even though, trick-or-treating is not happening in our neighborhood this year, he's going to be parading up and down the street wearing it. So
amazing. That sounds awesome. Well, Kim, thank you so much for taking the time. Really looking forward to ATD Sell next week. For those of you watching who are not registered yet, we really do want to see you there online with us. It's going to be a really great experience. Join us for our next episode of ATD Talks Talent on October 21st. We're going to be talking about the talent development capability model, which is our framework for what talent development professionals need to know and do to be successful. Keep up the great work, everyone, especially you, Kim, because you got a big week coming up. And
I hope to see a lot of you there at ATD Sell next week. So
yes, and stay healthy and safe. And thank you all for watching. Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Avra.